good, my friends? We welcome our crowd. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you all. Welcome. Because I'm getting old, I keep notes now. So exits are there, just so you know. I'm going to ask everyone to... I'm Taylor Ho Bynum. Welcome to the Coast Jazz Orchestra's concert, spring, winter, February concerts. This is the Coast. Give it up for the Coast. So yes, please turn off your phones. The concert is being both audio and video recorded, so if you are desperate to see things later, you can do that. But for right now, you can allow yourself the extraordinary gift and underappreciated peacetime luxury of being in this space together to hear, share in music and the vibrations and the air we will all partake in right now. It is Sunday afternoon, and I am in a multi-denominational spiritual center, so I will have to preach just a little bit, or just a tiny amount, because I do believe, while perhaps distinctly non-denominational, this music is a sacred practice for many of us who are involved in it, so it feels very nice to do it here in this space, and so let us enjoy that extraordinary gift. I also want to give a very huge thanks to all of the HOP staff and production team who are able to make all of these events happen all over the place, which is a extraordinary. Give it up for especially the production team. I mean, there was there was a symphony orchestra here. There was a symphony orchestra here last night at 10 o'clock at night, and then less than 12 hours later I walk in and it's set up beautifully for a jazz big band, and that is really extraordinary. That's some overnight magic, so I just want to give a special props for that. It's funny, when I was driving home 2 nights ago, and usually I don't mean to speak, he's a great trumpet player, Ray Vega, amazing trumpet player. Friday night jazz on VPR tends to make me a little sleepy, I have to admit. But they were playing some Don Cherry, and I was so excited because Don Cherry is one of my biggest heroes, one of my favorite trumpet players. And so at the end of the rehearsal, I was driving and I put on Don Cherry, it made me so happy. And Don Cherry actually taught here. It was actually the first person brought to Dartmouth to teach jazz and black creative music back in 1970. It's sort of a forgotten part of the institution's history. Side point, I live in Windsor, Vermont, and I found out while Don was teaching here, he took his band to go play at the Vermont State Prison, which now is an apartment complex, which I happen to live right across the street from. So I get to teach in a place that Don Cherry taught, and then I get to live in a place where Don Cherry played. That's very exciting to me. So the next night, because I was so thrilled by the Don Cherry thing, I turned on the radio, and they're actually having an interview with Sonny Rollins, which was amazing. Who's another one of the huge heroes of this music. I've literally never turned on the radio 2 nights in a row and heard some people so I felt that was one of those nice moments of chance curation. And Sonny Rollins is someone who's known as particularly one of the great tenor saxophone players of this music, and someone who had a particularly monastic approach to the practice. It really was a spiritual journey for him. He would disappear from the business scene, from the scene, playing gigs for 2 or 3 years at a time to just dedicate himself to practice and music and sound. Very famously on the Williamsburg Bridge for 2 years between 1959 and 1961, which is, if you are a powerful New York political figure, helped the effort to rename the Williamsburg Bridge the Sonny Rollins Bridge. But there's this beautiful thing that he said in this interview where they were saying, how have you stayed so committed to this music for 70 years, And he said something, it was something, I'm paraphrasing, but he just said, I really believe this music can help us as a species, can help us evolve, acknowledge the past, and keep changing, And that was a very powerful thing to hear driving home, deeply exhausted after 8 hours rehearsal the night before a concert. So I was very inspired by that. It also becomes quite an interesting segue because one of Sonny Rollins' first important gigs was playing in the Clifford Brown Max Roach Quintet in the late 50s. It is also Max Roach's centennial this year, who is one of the great heroes of this music. Give it up for Max Roach. If you haven't seen that new PBS Max Roach documentary on American Masters, really highly recommend it. Really great documentary on PBS right now about Max Roach. And so it seemed so in this sense of like we want to acknowledge the tradition and we also want to make it new, and we're thinking about Don Cherry, one of my favorite trumpet players, and Sonny Rollins, who started with Max Roach and played in the Clifford Brown Max Roach group. And then it turns out that one of my students, Amy Norton, has done an original arrangement of Joy Spring, one of Clifford Brown's classic pieces that was premiered by the Max Roach Clifford Brown group. It all comes together. So we're going to start off with Amy Norton's original arrangement of Clifford Brown's classic Joy Spring. The shaggy dogtail came together, right? You know, together. Truly, I thought of that 15 minutes ago, but I was excited by it. tenor, Matteo on the baritone. And so on the continued tradition of taking old things and making them new, we have another original by one of the band members, Tanaka Chikari. And she will introduce this tune, and we're also gonna, one of our band members had the very important PhD interviews this week, unfortunately, but we got her back for the vocal number on this, and Julia Picker. So Tanaka and Julia on voices and the whole band, and Tanaka's gonna share a little bit about this piece coming up.
Thank you so much, Taylor. Hello, everybody. It is such a pleasure to be sharing this music with you. We will be performing a song that I composed called Unonzani. This is a Shona song that celebrates our identity as Zimbabweans and asks the important question of who are you? Do you really know who you are and your identity? So I hope you enjoy, and it is dedicated to my grandmother who imparted this wisdom on me.
It's her birthday today, right?
And it is her birthday today, so.
Not the grandmother. You gotta play it right. So in that spirit of making the old new, expanding the tradition, doing exciting things with the music, we are incredibly lucky to have two extraordinary composer, saxophone band leaders with us for this week as our special guests. I am going to mention, because I took my tuck class, they have merchandise if you're interested, a fantastic CD of their 17-piece big band, the Weber Morris Big Band. Their first record, both are true. We had the incredible opportunity to commission 2 new pieces from them. We're about to hear those 2 new pieces, one from each. The first one is Angela's piece entitled Micro Chimera that features Anna on the flute. So let's welcome them to the stage, please. Anna Weber on the flute, Angela Mars on the world premiere of Micro Chimera. With PJ, Bo, rhythm section holding it down, trombones over there getting in there, Jackson, Noah, Nico, the string section, Daniel, Katie, and Gracie, everybody getting a piece. Now I'm passing it for our next world premiere. I'm very happy to pass the conducting stage to my friend Anna Weber.
Thank you so much. That was a piece called Choral, and it featured Taylor Ho Bynum on the cornet and the conch shell. Apparently, that was a surprise to me. He said he had a surprise for me, so there you go. It's really been a treat to be here and get to work with these amazing students, to bring some brand new music, and I just want to thank Taylor, and are we doing that? Are we thanking people? Yeah, we're doing it. Thank you all for being here and sharing this music with us. Thank you to Dartmouth for having us. Thank you for Taylor for setting this all up, and the amazing crew here. And it's been such a treat to work with these students and hear the music evolve over the last few days. Like Taylor said, Anna and I have a big band that released our first album in 2020, but we've actually been doing this together since 2015. So we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, and we're working towards our next album, which we're going to record this summer. Is going to include some of the music that you're hearing. So yeah, if you want the old one, I mean, get them while they're still fresh.
You can come and talk to us after the show if you're interested in the old one. Yeah, thank you so much. We're going to play one more piece of ours before we move into a conducted piece that Taylor's going to be leading. This is my composition called Everything in Moderation. Not in moderation, in moderation. Thank you.
After giving them so much grief to play quietly, it was so exciting to let them play loud. Give it up for the percussion section. We got Damon, we got Tanaka, we got Tashar, we got PJ, we got Jayanth, we got Karusha. Give it up. Can I get everybody? As I'm introducing the band, I'm going to also invite some special guests to join us on the stage and start plugging in and stuff. That's my segue time is going to be introducing more of these amazing musicians in the band. Let's give it up for Jordan on the piano, Whit on the bass, Bo on the guitar, Jackson, Noah, and Nico on the trombone. I want to give a special thank you to the flu season era in college campuses gets intense. We have yet to have the entire band on stage at any point in this term. Sadly, a couple of our students were out with the flu even for today, but luckily we had one of my colleagues, Patrick Neely, come in on the French horn and tear it up. Give it up to Patrick. We've got Tucker and Amy on the trumpets. We've got Jessica on the flute, Daniel on the cello, Katie and Gracie on the violins. We got Eliza and Ben on the tenor saxophones. We got Ryan and Devin on the alto saxophones. We got Mateo on the baritone. And rejoining the trombone section, we got Julia. Did I miss anybody? I'm always worried I'm going to miss somebody. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. So now I can introduce our very special guests. We have the amazing Tomeka Reid, Jessica Pavone, and Mac Waters. We are going to close out with a little bit of just slightly conducted collective improvisation, celebrating this music, this space, the fact that we are all here together and getting the chance to play with these amazing musicians that we've got. And then we are going to move into a composition by the great James Jabbo Ware, who is, I always say this, was the leader of the first great big band I ever got to see live, the Me, We, and Them Orchestra, back when I was about 16 years old, and it led me down this path of penury and hardship. No, this path of joy and wonderfulness. So we're going to close out, and Jabbo passed away last year, so we've been doing a lot of his music this year in tribute, and we're going to close out with his very well-titled Give Me a Moment.
the whole band. Stand up, everybody. Stand up. One more round. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. Amazing work. Get out of here. Joe Murphy, it's gonna be